friends, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Kelsey. If you are coming back, my name is still Kelsey. I talk here about a lot of mental health stuff, productivity, routines, how to stay healthy, and today I just wanted to do like my May reset, but it's going to be a little bit differently. One, it's late, which I know, story of my life, but also I wanted to kind of change up how I go about goal setting, how I go about planning. My goal planning is changing. Monthly goals haven't really been working for me. I enjoy setting goals within a shorter time frame, but I feel like it's almost too short to make any sort of impact. So instead I'm trying the 12-week year method. So this plan is based on a book. I'll put it here. It argues that we shouldn't make goals annually because it's too long of a time frame and it lacks urgency. And then by the time Q4 rolls around, you're either really discouraged because you haven't done anything or you power through trying to finally reach your goal. They argue that instead you should kind of plan within this 12-week time frame. It doesn't necessarily have to be a quarter, although it could. I'm starting it now, which is clearly just a random day in May, but the idea is choosing goals to fit within a 12-week time frame keeps that sense of urgency throughout the entire time. The idea is to have a weekly plan that encompasses your overall vision, your tactics, which then equals the action towards the goal. I'm not a mathematician, so this actual formula, it probably doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but ultimately the system is going to test my ability to stay on track and make movement towards the goals that I want. Time blocking is like the key to making this happen for me. The authors say you should have like 3 blocks of time. 3 hours of deep work a day to work on your goals. Buffer block to deal with like every day kind of interruption and distraction. I do 2 kind of 25-minute blocks, half an hour blocks in the morning and the afternoon, normally because work stuff, just that's how my life goes. And then breakout blocks are time to spend just away and recharging, like 2 or 3 hours a week. So the idea is to kind of go beyond just superficial goals and really kind of dig deep into where you want your life to go and then forming a plan around that. I think that in my life I've always just had goals because they sound like I should have them, and sometimes I do meet these goals, but often like my heart isn't in it, and so I don't always meet the goal. I feel like kind of awful about it, but really it's not my fault. It's that I didn't do it correctly and I wasn't gentle with myself. I was very hard on myself, and instead of being kind of constructive, I was really kind of getting in my own way. I've kind of had to make this plan knowing who I am as a person. I'm never gonna have these lofty goals that are like outside of what I'm capable of. Staying realistic is important. It's how I won't beat myself up. As somebody who does kind of struggle with some executive function in my life, I have to kind of work around it and accommodate for it rather than trying to make goals that I feel like I should be able to do. That's not realistic to me. I have decided that instead of like a million little goals, I'm gonna stick to a few goals within this 12-week period. I think I picked 2 or 3, and it's all in my Notion dashboard. So I did choose 3. Okay. My 3 goals for this 12-week period include a professional development goal, content creation, and health and wellness. And these goals, I will break them down. Professional development is all about taking courses to upskill at work. Ideally, I would spend about 10% of my working hours dedicated to learning, so like 4 hours out of 40 hours a week. I have a course roadmap all laid out. My company is very kind and has really invested in kind of this platform where we can learn, and I do have like an education stipend on my own that I can use if I want to, but I do have a roadmap of all the courses I do want to take. My work manager is aware and has her input and kind of gives advice on what she thinks that I should do to kind of take those next steps. But this plan is already set. I just have to execute it. That is all I have to do. So I'm using the 12-week year to stay on top of it, stay on track, and to meet my self-imposed deadlines. On to the next goal, my content creation goal. I never really have been consistent on this, but I do want to be more consistent and grow a platform and see if I even can. When I get stressed out and overwhelmed or anxious, I kind of go into survival mode and I don't do the things that I enjoy, like sitting down and kind of chronicling my thoughts. All enjoyable things kind of go out the window during that time. Creative things are healthy. I am a total data and analytics girly lately, so I want to keep track. My goal is to publish 1 video a week. That's 12 videos. My health and wellness goals. I've been half-heartedly striving towards a goal without a clear plan. I'm making an effort to eat healthier, more whole foods, more exercise. Basic. My main problem is I don't like to cook. I hate to cook and I never want to eat, so I'm like the queen of skipping meals if I feel like it's inconvenient to me. Just to avoid it, I will do that. But it has really started to kind of affect the way that I feel physically and mentally and emotionally, because you need vitamins and minerals. So I have identified that cooking is one thing with a lot of executive function tasks that I don't do well. There's lots of steps. There are, a lot of things happening at once. You're cooking many things. Things have different cook times. Vegetables take faster. Certain vegetables cook faster than others, and you have to kind of time things. And then there's the cleanup. My God. And so been thinking about it, and I don't know if meal kits are for me just because that isn't the barrier to me. It's not the having something to cook. It's not having the ingredients to cook. That is all immaterial to me. It is the fact that I don't want to actually have to go through a recipe and all of these steps to do something. It's like really basic, and it sucks that I'm like this, but I needed to find a way around it because I don't think this is something I will change about myself. So I'm trying this salad kit thing. Literally comes to me. I don't have to do anything. All I have to do is like mix all the ingredients together, mix the salad together. Oh my gosh, I should at least be able to do that. And so that's going to be how I get a lot of vitamins and minerals and treat my body the way that I should nutritionally. And we're going to see how that goes. Similarly, exercise has been really inconsistent. It's difficult for me to do when I don't have a plan laid out in advance. The 12-week year method is hopefully going to help me chart out these 12 weeks ahead of time. The next 3 months, I will schedule my meal delivery, I will schedule my workouts, add my obey classes to my calendar like clockwork, because I'm gonna carve out time in my life to actually do that. Now, I have adopted and tried so many systems to help manage my time and get on track through like my mental illness woes, but I'm feeling very good about this. A lot of this has to do with this Notion template I got from a creator on Etsy, because I would never have been able to build this myself. The comprehensive dashboard that she made made setting all this up like super simple. I'm gonna give like a mini tour. So a lot of this is just the default. I didn't really change a whole lot to personalize it. Maybe I will, maybe I won't, don't really know yet. For now, I just wanted to keep it very simple. So to be honest, I don't spend like my whole life on this dashboard. A lot of my day-to-day is spent in my work tasks dashboard in Notion. That is open all the time, just because that's what I'm looking at all the time. That's what I need during the day when I'm working, because that's the part that keeps me on track. But when it comes to the goals that I have for my life, then this separate dashboard is where I'm at. I use this dashboard to kind of go into my to-do list, which has all of my daily tasks listed out, and goals are there if they're like a daily thing. Other things like my workouts are scheduled in a time block in my calendar. I will show all of this. So this is my first goal, be working on professional development. Yeah, I might block some stuff out. We'll see how personal I got. So I initially planned out why this is important to me, how it relates to the overall vision of what I want my life to be. How am I going to make this goal a reality? So I created my CXL roadmap, dedicated 4 hours in my calendar per week. It's on my work calendar, synced to my personal calendar. For these courses, the first course I want to finish, and I want to do it this week, is a GA4 course. Oh my gosh, GA4. I'm gonna like rip my hair out, but then I want to complete a technical content marketing mini degree thing. That will take hours out of my life. So what am I willing to sacrifice? I want to take time away from busy work to do this 4 hours. And I'm doing that by blocking off an hour in my day to kind of capture all of those little interruption things that come in to kind of consolidate, so that when I get a Slack message, it's not distracting my flow. If I get tagged on like another project management ticket, I'm not pulled away from what I'm doing. I have a block of time where I can just deal with it all at once. So that is how I'm going to make this 4 hours just appear in my work calendar, essentially. And so I am dedicating an hour a day for 4 days a week, however that works out in my work calendar for the week, to do the courses, whatever. So then I have the tasks broken down, and I have the due dates, which is usually just like the week start or end, and then any time during that week that I can get it done. Cool. I have it in the 12-week plan. I assigned a week to it so that when it gets to that week, it's a deadline. I know how to keep it. Like the GA4 course, that's getting done. I want it done this week, but I put it for next week just in case. I've listed other modules in another course that I want to take with due dates to complete them. At the end of my 12 weeks, which ends up being like end of July, I then go in to each task or each goal, and I do kind of like a mini reflection. So did I achieve it? How much progress did I make? What's my biggest challenge? How am I feeling? Things that I can improve in the next 12-week round. There is a nice little progress bar circle thingy that auto-populates. The idea is to get it to at least 80%. If it's at least 80%, according to the book, that is, that's a win, yay. Good for me. I'm already at 20%. So yeah, I didn't put like a huge amount of tasks because I don't want to be overwhelmed, but I did for my other ones. I definitely did too many. So going into like content creation stuff, I focused on YouTube because I don't want to be overwhelmed. Why is this important? So I can share mental health and wellness, build a community. How am I going to blah, 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 make these reality, blah, 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 taking time out of my life? How will I do this? So I'm willing to sacrifice like binge watching Criminal Minds again. And I've made a commitment now to plan my videos during my Sunday evening resets. So for this, it's like a little bit more comprehensive because I do want to do more check-ins in terms of like my analytics. I do want to make my content plans. I do that in Todoist. It's a whole separate thing. I'm spread out everywhere. And then research, plan things, batch film if I can, or like dedicate time in my calendar to do so. And then again, with the reflection at the end of the 12 weeks, I can go back and see how I did. I don't really have a goal other than to actually post once a week for 12 weeks. I don't have other metric goals that I plan. I'm just doing what is in my control, and I'm not worrying about the rest. So for my health and wellness, this one is one I'm taking very seriously because this is really important for how I feel, so that I feel physically alert, mentally clear, have more energy, sleep better, all of those things. So scheduling my OBE classes in advance. I have an OBE membership. It's great. I really like it. It's better than a gym membership. It's just classes that I can follow, which I really need, versus going to the gym and being like, what am I doing? And there's like a good variety of classes that I can take. And I want to schedule those in advance so that I have a plan. I can just go to my calendar, be like, oh, here, click the link, done. I want to make my salad kit order every week. It has to be on Wednesday if I want it delivered for the following week. So I need to do that. And then I'll have like salads on hand that I can just quickly throw together for lunch or dinner or whatever. And then I'll have like my greens. I want to drink 3 liters of water a day. I have like a Yeti cup. It's been washed, so it's drying right now. But if I drink 3 of those, it's 3 liters. I have it only eat out once in 12 weeks. Preferably I wouldn't eat out at all. But we'll see. I give myself 1, just to be kind, but I don't want to use it. So what am I willing to sacrifice is the convenience of eating out, of course. We can all agree that it's usually easier. And then taking time to actually plan out the food I'm gonna eat and plan out the workouts I'm gonna do in advance to save me time in the moment, to save me like decision fatigue and whatever. I will take time out of every Sunday to schedule my workouts. And then Tuesday and Wednesday, if I have buffer time, Thursday at the absolute latest, I can confirm my food delivery for the week. This one has the tasks broken up into so many just because every week I want to check off when I made my order for food, and I want to check off when I scheduled my workouts. They're flexible. Like if I go for a walk or if I do like some other activity outside of my OBE, whatever, move stuff around, shuffle things around so that it's not overwhelming. I can just kind of be a little bit flexible. I do get to keep track of my OBE streak on my dashboard, and I'd like to keep the streak for the entire 12 weeks. So we'll see. Even if I do like a stretching class or a short like yoga class when I otherwise work out elsewhere, then I would rather do that just to keep the streak up and see where I end up, because I don't know, gamification. Again, I set up time to do the reflection at the end, and hopefully that is going to be filled up to 80% or more. I do get to go into a weekly planner if I want to kind of see how to break my week down even more. So if I plan my week in a more kind of granular way, then I can kind of set myself up for greater success, because I do want to maintain a bit of flexibility in my calendar. It is good for me in my head to review it kind of every week, shuffle things around as needed. I can highlight one thing, the main important thing to achieve that week. I can kind of address any challenges that I think I might face, and promise myself how am I going to make time for the things that are really important to me. And then I can see all of my goals in one place in every kind of weekly thing, and I can keep doing that throughout all of the weeks up to the 12 weeks. And then same here, I have like the week's task broken up, and then my life vision where I can go in and comment on what I would like these aspects of my life to look like and make like an actionable plan. So far I'm feeling very good about this. I am excited. I don't feel as overwhelmed, and I think that you know, typical goal setting of like a list of goals is, I mean, it feels nice, but I am definitely somebody who needs to see it in my calendar to make it happen. That's how my brain works. So I've broken this up in more of a granular way also in my to-do list, which is also like the massive productivity tool that I use. I go into my day, I have my inbox, which really is just like all my reclaim stuff right now, but anyway. If I go into my 12-week year, I have broken up the goals, and then I have set recurring reminders for things. So every Friday I schedule like a block of time to schedule my CXL courses. So for my professional development, I'll go into my next week, block off the time. Every Friday, I'm planning on doing that. Perform my YouTube analytics audit. That's going to be every 2 weeks, and it will show up on my to-do list dashboard that day, and I just have to do it. Like a lot of tools, and I recognize that that can be like a lot of steps for people, especially if, you know, people are struggling with like executive function tasks. But I find that even though it's kind of spread out in a lot of ways, it really saves my life when it's like this, because I mean, I'm on lots of different medications that can kind of make me feel a little foggy, and this way I have a system that doesn't let anything fall out through the cracks, so things don't get just not done because I've forgotten about them. I have all of these little details in several places so that I will always see them. So it's very strategically integrated, but this is what's going to keep me on track for my goals for the next 12 weeks. So from now until the end of July, I feel like this is going to be like a totally digestible amount of things to do. It's enough to strive for that I don't have to be pulled in a million different directions. I'm going to update to make sure everything stays on track and everything works out the way that I want it to work out. And yeah, wish me luck. Otherwise, I'm going to end it here, but I will see you all in the next video, which will be in a week because my 12-week planner says so.